U.S. lawmakers have finally released a long-awaited border bill aimed at reining in illegal immigration. It's the first time in decades we've seen Republicans and Democrats working together to tackle the border crisis. Now, Senate Republicans threatening to block it, and House Republican leaders say the bill is dead on arrival in the lower chamber. Representative Adam Smith joining us live to talk about what comes next. Representative Smith, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Donald Trump demanding that Republicans sink this bill. What exactly is the issue that House Republicans have with the bill?
Well, there's sort of two issues. I mean, one is political. I mean, Donald Trump has been very clear about the fact that he thinks he has a better chance of winning the election this fall if we don't address the border during this Congress, which is an incredibly cynical political approach to what is a very real issue. I mean, there is no question that many portions of this country have been overwhelmed by the sheer volume of migrants who have come into the country. I mean, the city of Tukwila has a challenge right here in my own district, in our own neighborhood. You know, second, there are legitimate disagreements about exactly how to address that. But this agreement that was negotiated between Republicans and Democrats makes a substantial step towards giving us a better chance to secure that border. And now the Republicans are walking away from a deal that they negotiated just days before they walked away from it. So it creates a significant challenge.
The House working on their own bill to provide aid for Israel, and Speaker Mike Johnson wants a vote on that this week. How is their approach different from the Senate?
Well, the Senate approach is comprehensive. The Senate approach deals with Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel, and our border. And it also, when it comes to Israel, deals with the humanitarian crisis that is present in Gaza. So it's a comprehensive approach. It's frankly what Mike Johnson said previously he wanted and insisted upon. He said he wouldn't give a vote on just Ukraine because the border had to be dealt with. Now they're giving a vote on not just Israel, but there's no humanitarian assistance in there for the Palestinians. It is simply $17 billion in military aid to Israel. So it separates out all of those other issues and potentially abandons humanitarian aid and support for Ukraine.
Let's talk about what happened at your office last month. It was occupied by pro-Palestinian supporters demanding a ceasefire in the war with Israel. So what message do you have for people who are worried that the government isn't doing enough to end this war?
Well, I think it is a legitimate concern, and I have met with many groups who are advocating for a ceasefire in support of the Palestinians. So there's really no need to protest. We've had an open dialogue and an open conversation about it, which is the way things are supposed to work in a representative democracy. And the Biden administration is working on solving this very difficult problem. Look, Hamas presents an enormous challenge. You know, they've made it clear that they want to destroy and eliminate Israel. The brutal attack on October 7th demonstrated that. Israel has to figure out some way to contain that threat from Hamas while also dealing with the very real and legitimate claims of the Palestinian people. I do not think that the Netanyahu government has done a good enough job of doing that. President Biden, those of us in Congress, are putting pressure on Israel to deal with the humanitarian crisis as well as the military threat. And both of those issues have to be addressed. You can't pick just one, as Speaker Johnson is attempting to do today by just providing military aid.
Representative Adam Smith, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks for giving me the chance.